Hello, my name is Marcus Borg. I'm with RISE, Research Institutes of Sweden. I'm going to give a general first presentation today, and it's a paper that was published in Information and Software Technology last year, and the title is Selecting Component Sourcing Options, a survey of software engineering's broader make or buy decisions. I'm going to talk about research that was conducted in the context of component-based software evolution, and especially the decision-making in organizations involved in component-based software evolution. Here represented by a train deciding which way to go next. And I have three main takeaway messages today. The first one is that most organizations consider multiple sourcing options. The second one is that sourcing decisions are dominated by expert judgment, but also they are influenced by data. And third, functional suitability acts as an initial filter in the decision process, and then the reliability is considered the most important software quality. Before doing academic research, I worked as an engineer with ABB, and I worked in the domain of process automation and especially development of the automation system 800XA. And you know what? That is a system that has evolved for decades. So I think it is very cool to be here and present this work at a conference focusing on software evolution. The motivation behind this research is the following. Adding and or replacing components, it happens all the time when evolving large software systems. And the make or buy decisions, these are frequently studied in industry. This is nothing new, but they are more interesting in software engineering. We have a possibility to develop software components in-house. In software engineering, we can also outsource the development itself. We can also go for COTS solutions, buying it off the shelf and integrating that. Or we can integrate existing OSS open source components into our systems. And then there are, of course, combinations here. You could decide to develop something in-house, releasing it as open source from the beginning. But to simplify this survey, we looked at those four sourcing options. Now I'm going to present research, a survey conducted as part of a big national research project in Sweden called Orion. This study was guided by the following research questions. First, which component sourcing options, CSOs, are typically considered in industry? What is the nature of the decision process when selecting CSOs and components? And finally, what component qualities are the most important input to?
A few words about the method first. We conducted a survey and we commissioned a tailored questionnaire, fairly complex questionnaire with branching and different branches depending on the number of responses provided in previous questions and things like that. We commissioned that from a company called Querus. The data collection largely relied on convenience sampling. We used our industry network to get the responses from industry, and we complemented that by inviting people to respond using social media such as LinkedIn. In total, we received 353 responses, and after an initial sanity check, we decided to proceed with 188 responses in the analysis. And the analysis was first quantitative, using contingency tables, especially crosstabs, and then also a qualitative analysis of free text answers was a big part, grounded theory, inspired work, inductive research. We received responses from a diverse set of practitioners, and as we can see here, many developers, many architects, and then people in more strategic roles, product management, and testers were also part of the mix here. And looking at the distribution of respondents in agile versus more plan-driven traditional development organizations, we see a good mix here as well. Looking at some results now. First, research question 1. Which CSOs are typically considered in industry? And what we found in our responses was that all 4 CSOs are represented here. Software developed internally was the most frequent answer. And what is also interesting is that 137 of the responses answered more than one CSO. So the results for research question 1 is then that yes, CSO selection is a recurring decision point in software engineering, and all 4 CSOs are frequently considered in industry, and in-house development is number 1. For research question 2, what is the nature of the decision process? I give you a chance to pause the video if you're interested in these precise answers here. The main outcome of the research question was the following: that the processes used to select CSOs and components vary considerably, from really being ad hoc to being systematic. Decisions in industry are driven by expert judgment, but we found that they are definitely often complemented by collected data. Authoritarian and democratic decision processes are equally common, and many different roles are involved in the decision process in both cases. Finally, research question 3. What component qualities are the most important input to decisions? And you see a bar plot here with the responses. We can see that functional suitability was the most frequent answer, followed by reliability, maintainability, and performance efficiency, and so on. The answer to the research question, also very much based on the analysis of the free text answers, is that first, functional suitability is determined. Second, other qualities are estimated. Reliability, maintainability, performance, and security being the most important ones. And we also found that functional suitability and reliability are globally important. We received consistent answers across domains and contexts.
To conclude this talk, I again repeat the 3 takeaway messages. Most organizations consider multiple sourcing options. Sourcing decisions are dominated by expert judgment, but still influenced by data. And functional suitability acts as an initial filter, and then reliability is the most important software quality. For more details, of course, please have a look at the publication in Information and Software Technology. And thanks for your attention. Please reach out if you have any questions.